At 14, you run messages through a São Paulo prison wall for 20 reais. At 47, you control drug shipments across 6 Brazilian states, from a phone that doesn't exist, in a location no one can confirm. You never held a weapon. You never needed to. This is the Primeiro Comando da Capital, the first command of the capital. Born in blood inside Tobati prison in 1943. Today, the largest criminal organization in Latin America, and you built your life inside it, one rank at a time. Level Fogueteiro, the lookout. You're 14 years old. You live in Jardim Angela, São Paulo, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in one of the most dangerous cities on earth. The statistics don't matter to you. The 20 reais in your hand does. Your job is simple. You watch the street. You fire a rocket of foguete when police approach. Sometimes it's a literal firework. Sometimes it's a whistle. Sometimes it's just a nod to the boy across the alley. You don't know who you're protecting. You don't need to. The older boys call you parceiro. Partner. It's the first time anyone outside your family has called you something that sounds like respect. Your mother works double shifts at a textile factory. She thinks you're playing football. You earn 20 reais per shift. Then 30. Then 50. The school you stopped attending cost the government 40 reais per day to run. You do the math, even though they never taught you to. 3 boys on your street disappeared last year. You tell yourself they moved. You almost believe it. The money is real. The rest is just beginning. Level Dos. Soldado the soldier. You're 17 years old. Someone handed you something heavier than a phone. You didn't ask what it was for. You already knew. The PCC calls itself a party. O Partido. And like any party, it has members and it has rules. 15 rules. To be exact. No robbery within the community. No rape. No betrayal. The rules sound almost noble until you understand who enforces them. You enforce them. Your first assignment isn't violence. It's presence. You stand at the entrance to the favela. You make sure the community knows who provides order here, because the police stopped providing it years ago. You earn 800 reais a month. More than your mother. Then one night, a man doesn't pay what he owes. Your supervisor looks at you. You understand the look. You don't hesitate. You're 17. Your hands stop shaking by morning. That's the part that should scare you. The PCC runs what they call the tribunal. A court. Disputes are settled. Sentences are handed down. You attend your first one and watch a man beg for his life. Over a debt of 200 reais. The tribunal grants mercy. This time, you think, this is justice. You don't yet know what that word costs. The party gave you a code. The code owns you now. Level 3. Batizado the initiated. You're 21 years old. They call it the batismo. The baptism. 2 senior members vouch for you. They have vouched with their lives. Literally. If you betray, they answer for it first. This is how the PCC maintains loyalty where money cannot reach. There is no burning card. No blood on a saint's image like the Sicilians. The PCC's ritual is simpler and more terrifying. A verbal oath, witnessed, recorded in the memory of men, who forget nothing and forgive less. You swear to the 15 rules. You swear to the party. You swear to your brothers. You are now an irmão, a brother. Your number is registered. The PCC maintains internal records, more organized than most Brazilian government offices. Marcos Williams Herbas Camacho, known as Marcola, built this system from inside Piranhão prison. He understood that organizations survive through structure, not chaos. You are now part of the structure. The benefits are immediate. If you're arrested, the party pays for your lawyer. If you're inside, you eat, you sleep safely. The PCC taxes its members 500 reais per month. In return, it provides what the state never did. You're 21. You have a daughter now. She's 2. You told her mother you work in logistics. That's almost true. The oath is permanent. You know this. You said yes anyway. Level 4. Piloto, the cell pilot. You're 26 years old. You manage a cell now. 8 to 12 irmãos, under your coordination. You coordinate distribution in your quadrant of the city. The product arrives in shipments you don't track too closely. It moves through a network of points you memorize but never write down. Writing things down is how men go to prison. You earn between 5,000 and 8,000 reais per month. You bought your mother a washing machine. You told her it was from overtime. Your cell operates under the Sintonia system. Sintonias are the communication channels of the PCC. Sintonia do Crime handles operations. Sintonia Financeira handles money. Sintonia da Rua handles street-level coordination. You report upward to a Sintonia. They report upward to something you've never seen. The police know about the Sintonias. They've arrested men from them. The structure absorbs the arrests and continues. This is the genius of the PCC. It was designed by men inside prison, so it was designed to survive prison. You attend a tribunal for the first time as a decision-maker. A young soldado stole from a client. The rule is clear. You vote. The vote is unanimous. You drive home after. Your daughter is asleep. She's 5 now. She drew a picture of you at school. Stick figure with a big smile. May pai. My father. You tape it to the inside of your car visor. You look at it every morning. Power doesn't make you whole. It just makes the hole harder to see. Level 5. Disciplina. The disciplinary. Action 7 Mane. Level 5. Action 7. The disciplinary. Action 7 Port. Action 7. You're 31 years old. Your title now is Disciplina. You are responsible for internal compliance. When a brother breaks the 15 rules, you investigate. This is the rank where men either harden completely or break. There is no middle position. You've seen both happen. The PCC's internal justice system is one of the most studied phenomena in Brazilian criminology. Researchers from USP, from Oxford, from the London School of Economics, have written papers about it. They call it governance without the state. You call it Tuesday. Marcola gave an interview once that made newspapers across Brazil go silent. He told a journalist, "We are a new species. You created us." He meant the Brazilian state, the collapsed prisons. The 1992 Carandiru massacre, where 111 inmates were killed by police. The PCC was founded 1 year later, in direct response. You were born the year before Carandiru. You grew up in its shadow without knowing it. You're 31 now. Your wife knows something is wrong. She doesn't ask. The silence between you has its own weight. Like furniture, no one moves around anymore. Your son is 3. He laughs at everything. You watch him and feel something you don't have words for. You don't allow yourself to feel it too long. Feeling too long makes you slow. Slow men in your position go to places no one visits. The organization is watching. It's always watching. That's how you know it's working. Level 6. Sintonia Restrita Restricted Command. You're 38 years old. You oversee multiple cells across multiple neighborhoods, sometimes across multiple states. São Paulo to Mato Grosso. São Paulo to Pará. The PCC has expanded beyond its origin, like a river that found every crack in the earth. You don't meet face-to-face anymore. Meetings happen through intermediaries. Messages travel in coded language through platforms that law enforcement is always 3 steps behind on. When they catch up, you've already moved. GACO. The Organized Crime Division of the Brazilian prosecutors has been investigating PCC leadership for over a decade. They've arrested hundreds. They seized assets. They presented press conferences. The PCC absorbed every strike and continued. You have watched men you knew personally get sentenced to 30, 40 years. The structure continued. This is what keeps you awake, not fear of prison, the understanding that you are not important. The machine doesn't need you, you need it. Your daughter is 17 now. She got into a federal university, the first in your family. She thinks your money comes from construction contracts. You made sure the paperwork exists to prove it. You attended her acceptance celebration. You sat at the table and smiled and watched her talk about her future. You thought, this is what it was all for. Then you drove to a meeting where a man's fate was decided in 4 minutes. You don't reconcile these things. You just drive. Level 7. Sintonia Geral National Command. You're 44 years old. There are very few men at this level, perhaps a dozen in the entire organization. You don't know their real names. They don't know yours. You communicate through layers so dense that federal investigators have spent years trying to map them. The PCC spent those same years adding more layers. You live in a house registered to a company, registered to a name that doesn't exist. Your neighbors think you import industrial equipment. You've never spoken to them directly. Marcola has been in maximum security isolation for years. He coordinates through methods the Brazilian Justice Ministry cannot fully explain. When they moved him to RDD, the Regime Diferenciado de Disciplina, the PCC's operations didn't pause for a single day. This is what you inherited. This is what you maintain. Your wife left 4 years ago. She took your son. You let her. It was the last kind thing you did. You have everything. A network. Resources. Influence that extends into city councils, police precincts, government contracts. Men with badges who look away at the right moment. They don't work for you. They just work for what you provide. You eat alone most nights. The television stays on for the noise. People fear you. It is nothing like being loved. You knew this. You chose anyway. The machine runs. You are somewhere inside it. That's all anyone knows. Level 8. Cupola. The hidden summit. You're 49 years old. The cupola doesn't appear on any organizational chart. Investigators theorize its existence from the behavior of everything below it, like a black hole, known only by its gravity. If you are here, you are a ghost. Your face hasn't appeared in a photograph in years. The men who could identify you have reasons not to. Your decisions travel downward through so many layers that by the time an order reaches the street, no one alive can trace it back. Brazil's federal police launched Operation Spectrum in 2019. Operation Integration. Operation Obelisco. They arrested hundreds. They seized assets. They presented press conferences. The PCC absorbed every strike and continued. You watched the press conferences on a television, in a city the investigators weren't watching. You think sometimes about the boy you were at 14, running messages for 20 reais in Jardim Angela. You think about the moment someone handed you something heavier than a phone. The moment you said yes to the baptism. Every yes was a door. Every door closed behind you. Your daughter is a doctor now. She lives in another state. She calls on Sundays. She has no idea who her father is. You've made sure of this. It is the most loving thing you've ever done. You are 49. You control more than most men will ever see. You sleep 4 hours a night. You trust no one completely. You remember no one's birthday, including your own. The 1,993 founders of the PCC wrote the original statutes. In a prison cell 8 men shared. They wanted protection, dignity, justice. They wanted what the state denied them. You have all of it. None of it feels like what they wanted. The machine is bigger than it has ever been. It will outlast you. You built it that way. Level 9. OFIM, the end. You're somewhere between 50 and a headline. There are 3 endings for men at your level. The first is arrest. GEICO, the federal police. Sometimes, Interpol, a courtroom. Sentences measured in decades. The RDD isolation regime, a 2 by 3 meter cell. Visits once a month through glass. Your daughter doesn't come. The second ending requires no trial. The third is rarer. A man who disappears completely. New country. New name. New silence. Some believe this is possible. No one can confirm it. You know which ending is coming. You've known for years. The math of this life only runs one direction. Somewhere in Jardim Angela, tonight, a boy is watching a corner. Someone handed him 20 reais. He's counting it in his palm like it's a passport. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't need to. He's 14. He thinks this is the beginning. He's right. The machine doesn't need a name. It just needs the next boy to say yes.